Welcome to Etihad Stadium. An exciting night here, that's for sure. Two terrific teams. The Saints 5-1, Carlton 3-3. They haven't beaten St Kilda since 2001. So maybe Goddard and Gibbs. A big rat there from Tom. Bryce Gibbs, such a talent, #1 draft pick a few years back.
Tell me, Tom, you think Gibbs can go with Goddard wherever? Would that be how you'd be setting it up, or just part off?
I would be, Lee. I think he's got the physical attributes to do so. I mean, Goddard is as I said, I really do think he's the most versatile player going around. Deep forward would be a concern, I would have thought, but from a learning point of view, I think it could be a fantastic matchup.
It's one of those things that you do know that Gibbs plays really well as a medium halfback, but if you're playing full back on Goddard, that might be a nervous matchup. Positioning the rest of the ground, he'd be ideal.
Let's go down and join Matthew Richardson on the boundary, and Richo, looking forward to a lot tonight.
Good evening, Bruce. Yeah, it's going to be a great night, Monday night footy. Looking forward to it, but really looking forward to having a look at Jarrad Waite. Been out of the side for 3 weeks. A little bit down on confidence at the start of the season with his knee injury from last year. I think the best place to play him tonight is probably off half-back. He can run straight at the ball, play there for a few weeks, and once he gets his confidence up, I reckon they should look at putting him back forward, but I reckon half-back is the spot for him tonight.
It's one of those nights, isn't it, where a lot of players could play forward or back for both teams. Thornton and Waite and Johnson are the ins. Thornton and Waite. Johnson coming in this morning after the quad went for Bower, who's a big out again.
Well, Thornton and Waite being back in the team, you would have thought, well, they're going to replace Bower and Henderson, so you would think one will play back and one will play forward, and I reckon Waite might be more chance of trying to play forward.
Definitely more likely than Thornton, no doubt about that.
Chris Judd outstanding last week. Matthew Cruiser playing his 50th game. His 49th was pretty quiet last Sunday afternoon. He made his debut in round 3 of 08 against the Bombers. And tonight will be his 50th consecutive AFL match. Not too many guys do that. Stephen Kernahan back in 1988 was the last Blue, one of 7 to play 50 on the trot to get to 50. Out come the Saints.
And as the Saints are about to go through the banner, their coach Ross Lyons with Tim Watson.
Well, Ross, you've had plenty of time to prepare for this one. What can you expect from Carlton tonight?
I think it's going to be a fierce battle. They're keen to break that 12 game sort of losing streak, and they've got a great midfield. Really think it's going to be won and lost in there. And if they've got some beautiful kicks, if we let them get outside us and deliver well, we'll be under a bit of pressure. So really put on our midfield, and we want to see our bodies flying early and just keep up in intense pressure, cause a lot of turnovers and try and score quickly and heavily.
You talk about their midfield. Judd, obviously the key in their midfield, one of their better midfield players. Jones to Judd tonight?
No, Jones will go to Murphy, and I'll sort of Goddard, Del Sano. We'll put a mix through Judd, but they'll all have a keen eye out for him where he's going, obviously,
Okay, so you're going to rotate a lot of different players through Judd tonight, just trying to expose him maybe?
Oh, yeah, I just think everyone, it's hard to stop you like Gary Ablett. So he wins so much contested ball and so much clearance, but when we got it, really try and make him defend.
Thanks for your time.
That's the plan.
Any surprises there?
Well, I think it's often, I think they think that maybe Jones can stop Murphy. Jones is going to have trouble stopping Judd, so you go to the guy that you got the most chance of minimising with your best tagger, and they feel Murphy's that tonight.
That's a really interesting insight there from Ross Lyon. I would have thought, looking at the two teams, that Jones would have gone to Judd, but then the summation that he's declared he's unstoppable. So going head-to-head with Chris Judd will be interesting to watch tonight.
So all set. We'll be back with the toss. Monday night footy, the Saints and the Blues.
Righto, our focus going into the Collingwood game. Main points. Tackling was poor. It's bottom of the ladder stuff. But we simply had 28 effective tackles. They had 44. Skinned. 3 players in this room reached our benchmark. That's an alarming number.
Who legitimately feels they covered a boulder? A week ago against Geelong was the strength of our game.
Sometimes fumbles happen. We weren't beaten by 55 points, whatever it is, because we fumbled. Happy with that performance? Better than that? Well, let's go to work about fixing it up, eh?
Mark Riley. I don't know about you, Lee, but I find that seductive television watching that stuff. You're used to it.
Well, I guess we've all been behind the scenes there, Tom, but you don't get behind the scenes very often as footy fans to see what goes on when they look back to review a game.
The way he communicated with the midfield was fantastic. Obviously a tough loss, but was still very forthright in getting the job done.
No, I did see the judge to put his hand up, didn't I?
You did.
Covering the bolter. Covering the bolter.
I always find it hard to see Robert Harvey plotting against the Saints too. It's, you sort of think, Chief, nothing's forever in footy.
That's interesting because there's so much rotations going on.
Okay, yeah, your call, Chris. If you got Tails call. And heads it is.
Two great midfielders tossing the coin, one by Lenny Hayes. St Kilda home game as we go down to the boundary, and Tim Watson.
Thanks, Dan. Looking forward to this one. We've already heard from Ross Lyon about how fierce they're going to attack this game, particularly the midfield. We know that the midfield of Carlton aren't happy with their performance too, so we can expect to see some great battles in there. Richo, I know that Satano Halpin's in career best form. Yes. A really tough defensive unit to crack tonight. What can you expect from him?
Well, this is the next step in his development, to play consistently as a key forward. Satana needs to make the most of his opportunities tonight because it's not going to get in there as often. Got a feeling it's going to be a little bit tougher for him tonight, but another test in his development.
And he really needs some assistance from Santana's little helpers as well, the three little fellas down there on the forward line.
I think they're going to have to bob up again tonight, Timmy.
Santana coming off a career-high 5 goals last Sunday. He's kicked only 11 in 24 games here at the Docklands, but in a variety of positions.
Saints have won 22 out of their last 24 here, Tom. I mean, does that count for anything? Do you think? Do they have an advantage playing at Etihad?
Oh, I think they clearly do. I mean, the statistics back that up. I reckon they play the surface really well. Their full ground zone is very much suited to a traditional footy oval, I guess, as opposed to the MCG. So, you know, I've been really impressed with what I've seen from St Kilda this year. Don't worry about that.
And I think we saw the Carlton forward group in Jared Waite. Is obviously going to be the inclusion into that height in their forward 50. It's going to be important because sometimes the ball just has to go in long and high, and your height just needs to jump in a pack.
It's interesting, people talk about things being history, but when you've won 12 straight against a club, a lot of the players are common to those games. Yep. I find that there's pretty strong reason to tip the side that's got the advantage.
Well, Ryan Houlihan there, he's the only player who's played in a Carlton team that's beaten St Kilda that's out there tonight for the Blues.
It's an amazing statistic, and you're right, Dennis, it certainly does come into play. Maybe it's a match-up thing or whatever, but the Blues will be hoping they can turn the tables today.
So, Monday night football, that's right, Monday night, tomorrow's Tuesday. Don't sleep in. Those two won't be sleeping in.
It's interesting, Clint Jones has gone to Mark Murphy, as Ross Lyon said, and Murphy tried to go to Montagna, but sort of gave up when Montagna ran off.
Goddard and Judd standing off the ball, and Goddard went at Judd off the ball, as you saw there. Meantime, it spills across to Russell. That was interesting. Goddard made a beeline for Chris Judd as the ball is on the 50, taken by Simpson, slots it down towards the pocket, getting across is Gilbert, takes the mark. Right on the boundary line.
How often do we see that? He marks the ball more from opposition kicks than any other player in the competition. His ability to read the kick-in is fantastic.
Gilbert close to the boundary line, too close. Out of bounds on the full. Heath Scotland coming off a good game. Sends it back inside the forward 50. Nice. Waite on the lead has taken the mark.
It's a great confident starter for Jared Waite. I remember round 1 against Richmond, he came out of the square and got a couple of marks early. So if he can get some touches up, the confidence will build. As Richo mentioned, you know, work his way into some good form.
Tough kick this one. I think he's having a go. It slides across the face of goal, off hands and through for a minor score.
You almost feel like you don't get many shots against St Kilda, even though that's a difficult shot. Every time you miss, you almost would have a little knife in the back a bit.
And so Gilbert again, so a couple of marks for him, that time from his teammate Goddard. And now Graham. It's the last couple with a hip. Milne. Joseph was a bit proppy when he went to ground there, and Houlihan couldn't quite get it back from Russell. Thornton, I should say.
So where's Goddard and Gibbs? They look like they've got the match-up, Tom, as you predicted.
Yeah, I think Goddard's playing in the middle of the ground in around the Judd vicinity, so Gibbs is right there. So perhaps maybe we've got a future in coaching.